and talk business and political host Roby Brock, keeping a close eye on the races. He joins us here in studio. Good to have you here.
Good to be back with you.
New poll results just in, so a lot of ground to cover. Let's jump right into it and start with the U.S. Senate race. Any surprises based on what voters are telling you in this poll?
No. As expected, U.S. Senator John Boozman, the Republican incumbent, with a growing lead over his Democratic challenger, Natalie James. It's a 20-point lead for John Boozman, 52% to 32%. Libertarian Kenneth Cates at 3%, 13% undecided. What we've seen in this particular race is that undecided voters, which were larger about a month ago, as well as independent voters, moving towards John Boozman in big numbers.
Attorney General, let's talk about that race.
The Attorney General's race, a very interesting race and somewhat similar. Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin has opened up a 26-point lead over his Democratic rival, Jesse Gibson. Still 12% undecided in there. That was a 17-point race 30 days ago, but now it is up to 26 points there. And again, same thing as we saw in the Boozman race there. It is you've got now independents and undecideds moving favorably for Tim Griffin.
They had a lively debate yesterday, I'll tell you that much.
They're all lively. Let's talk about the governor's race, because that's the big one, and it's actually a little bit surprising. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the Republican nominee, at 51%. Chris Jones, the Democratic nominee, at 41%. Ricky Del Harrington, the Libertarian, at 3%. Just 5% undecided, which a month ago this race was almost exactly where it is today. Undecideds were the same number. Sarah Huckabee Sanders had about a 10 or 11-point lead. This race has not moved any in the last 30 days. I think one of the main reasons for that is Chris Jones is a very formidable candidate. Sarah Huckabee Sanders has been a polarizing figure. It's also her first time to officially be on the ballot, whereas John Boozman, Tim Griffin have some political longevity in Arkansas. I still think she's the front runner in this race. I'm surprised if she would not win this race. He's going to have to peel off some of her support, Chris Jones is, and pick up those undecided votes. That's a really tough thing to do. She's in the catbird seat on that, but not as big of a margin of a lead as you see in the other two races there. So,
especially when you look at the war chest between the two.
Well, and Chris Jones is leading among undecideds in that. Among independents in that race, which is what we don't see in those other two races. It's a small lead, but he's got a lead among independents.
That's interesting, because in years past, the independent voter was going towards the Republicans.
Very much so. Yeah, we've seen over the last decade independent voters vote 2-to-1 and 3-to-1 for Republican candidates, and we're not seeing that in these poll numbers this year. We didn't see it in last cycle either. It's a little bit more 50-50, 55-45, but not 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 like we've seen. So some things are changing.
It's always good to look at the polls, but you know what? When the folks go to the polls, we'll know for sure.
It is the only one that counts. So we'll see. Right. But anyhow, this gives you some trend lines on where some things are headed and where some of the strengths and weaknesses are for some of the candidates.
And a lot of us have been wondering. So thank you, Roby.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks so much. And don't forget, you can watch Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock every Sunday at 9:30. Where else? Right here on Fox 16.
Thanks, Roby.